Hey everybody, you're watching Roll Hunter, and I'm wondering, can we find silver in this box of Canadian quarters? Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is James and you're watching my channel, Roll Hunter. We got a box of quarters. We can see it's got that Canadian mint tape on it, and back from March of last year, but it's been opened up and I can tell you that these are some customer wrapped rolls. So anything goes in here. It's not going to be a full box of uncirculated coins. We're looking for silver because we're doing so well in our Lighthouse Vista album. We really only have a handful of spots left and they're all silver. So that's what we want to find in here. Of course, we'll take colorized coins, we'll take key dates, we'll take anything cool and interesting. You never know what you're going to find coin roll hunting. So let's dive in and see what we can get. We'll compare any finds against the album, see if we can make any improvements. We'll look at the album later. Roll number one, we got a 1973 RCMP commemorative. It's not in great shape. We always want to check these to see if it's the large bust or the small bust. This one is the small bust. It's very common. It's worth 25 cents. If it was the large bust, it would be worth considerably more. And you can tell the difference because there's some fine detail in the hair here, and the beads are actually far away from the rim. The bust, of course, is smaller, but it's hard to tell just looking at one coin. You'd really want to compare against a 1972, which features a large bust. Roll number two, we've got our first foreign coin. It's an American, and it's not the only one in this roll. There's one a little further back there you can see, but we'll check out this one. Looks pretty nice. It is a Philadelphia minted quarter, and this one is a Cumberland Gap 2016. That's really cool. I'll have to check against my collection to see if I have that. And then I can see we have an older one with the eagle here. This one is a 1991. Cool. Roll number three, we're going to have our first colorized coin. It's a little faded and a little grungy, but it's a 2004. This was the first circulation coin that had a color enamel affixed to the coin, and that was really cool. Not so bright, but this is a poppy. It's a symbol of remembrance in Canada, and it should be bright red. Not this one, though, but that's color for the board. Roll number four, and we are going to have color in this one, and you can tell by the obverse it's a little bit different. We've got these large lettering here, Canada. If I flip it over, it's a 2008, and this time you can see some really bright red in a poppy. Very similar to the 2004 design, but this one is the 2008 colorized poppy. And only a few coins back, we've got another one. Here is a 2010. This is the double poppy. Bit of a different process here on this one. You'll notice that on the other ones, there's sort of like a bumpy field. This is actually on a smooth field. It's a very different sort of process. But that one, except for those scratches, I was just about to say this one's in nice shape. But that's another color for the board. That's three so far. Same roll. Could we actually get three colorized coins in one roll? This is a War of 1812 commemorative. It's dated 2013. We'll just have to flip it to see. And it is. It's a DeSalleberry with that color in the maple leaf commemorating the War of 1812. Very cool. So that's three in one roll and four so far. Roll six, and we got a really beautiful 2011 Orca. And we want to be on the lookout for the colorized version where there's color in this sphere right above the Orca's head. This one's a really nice one. We'll definitely hold that one aside. Same roll, and we got another American. This is one of those national park quarters. This is Ellis Island, New Jersey, 2017. This one is out of Denver, and I'm not all that well versed on these American coins, and there are a bunch that have errors, some double dies and interesting die chips and things like that. So if I miss anything and you spot something, definitely let me know because I hold these all aside. And the very next coin, I just flipped it over and found another 2004 color poppy. Roll seven, and we found a keeper. I think we have found an upgrade for the album. Look at this 1986. I'm going to grab it by the edge. We'll flip it around and see. It is in just beautiful condition. I don't know if this came from a set or what. We're going to set that aside. We will absolutely check that against the album. This might very well be an upgrader. Some of our 80s quarters aren't in great shape. We're in roll number eight, and you can see that we've got another 2004 poppy for the board. So we'll take that and add it to our finds. There's our 2004s right there. We got three so far. End of that roll and check it out. We got another Really nice 80s quarter. It's an 85. It looks like it's in really good condition. Again, another possible upgrader. I'll put it right next to that 86 that we got earlier. And maybe there's a few more in this box. So I don't know if somebody emptied their quarter album or what, but we're going to cross our fingers and hope that's the case. Roll Line's going to have our fourth 2004 color poppy, and it's going to be our best so far. This one is a real beauty. Look at that. Roll 10, we've got our oldest quarter of the hunt. It's a 1969. It's not silver. Silver ended in 1968, and that was a transitional year, so some were silver and some were nickel, and you gotta put a magnet to them to be absolutely certain. But that is a nickel quarter. Just a little further back, and we've got our first provincial from 1992. It's from Manitoba. These are often in nice shape because people collected these when they came out. And we can see this one is in pretty nice uncirculated condition. 1867 to 1992. This was celebrating 125 years of Confederation in Canada. Roll number 11, and we found a pretty nice example of these 2013 Arctic Expedition commemoratives. And I'm bringing you in, this is nice, but there are two different varieties, and I found one earlier in the roll I didn't film. And if you note on this one, the clothing of the explorers has a bit of a frosted appearance. And this other one that I found, the clothing is not frosted. There is some frosting on the ring of the compass around the coin. So there are two varieties of this coin you want to be on the lookout for if you want to complete your collection. Roll number 12 is another one of these really annoying clear plastic rolls, but I just looked at the end. It was broken and taped up, but it's going to be hard to see, but there is an 80s coin. I think it's an 88 that also looks to be in really nice condition. So let's get it out there and take a peek. So I've laid it down and it looks like we are going to have another nice one. The 80s are making a bit of a comeback in this box here. So it's got a little bit of circulation wear, but otherwise in pretty good condition. We'll check that one against the album for sure. Same roll, and here's another really nice one. This is that 2017 Hope for a Green Future. This one is the non-color version, but you can see it's got some frosted elements on it, which is really cool. So we'll set that one aside. That's a good find in the box. Here's another commemorative that features some frosting. You can see a couple of beluga whales at the top that have a frosted appearance, and part of the bowhead whale in the foreground has a frosted appearance. And there are two versions of this as well. There's one where the belugas aren't frosted and most of the bowhead whale is. And it used to be that you would only find this kind of frosted appearance on proof coins, but the Royal Canadian Mint is a pretty innovative designer of coins, and innovation is in their processes, and there are more and more that you see with these frosted elements in just regular circulation coins. Very cool. Roll number 13, our second provincial commemorative, another nice one too. This one's from Alberta. I just laid out the roll number 14, and when I looked at it, I could see another nice 80s coin, probably 80s, 70s, on the end. And this one is taped, it won't come out, I got to get it out. But when I laid it down, I could see that we've got what appears to be a whole roll of 70s and 80s quarters, and they all appear to be in pretty nice condition. We might very well have hit part of somebody's collection, so we'll look through and see what we've got here, because I think we might have some upgraders for sure. So that entire roll spanned 1968, which I've got at the top, all the way to 1982, and they're not all in complete mint condition, anything like that. They're some nicer examples. There are some nicer ones to choose from for sure. So we'll have an opportunity, I think, for a few upgrades. But we did get a lower mint 1970. It's got a bit of damage. It might have a tiny bit of the Ring of Death on it there. But that's a key date in Canadian quarters. So I'll set all of these aside for now so that we can really look through and see if we can upgrade any of those coins from 68 to 82 in the album. Next roll, more color for the board. It's a 2006 Breast Cancer Pink Ribbon. Roll 16, there's a colorized peregrine falcon from 2011. That's cool. Roll 16 has a mark on it that is pretty typical for coin roll hunters. We can't really know if this particular roll has been hunted because these wrappers or rollers get reused over and over again. But the last time I had a roll like this with a mark on it, we found a silver dime in that roll, so you just really never know. But I don't see any silver edges on this one. Roll 18 had a War of 1812 Laura Secord non-color version, but just a little ways back. we found the colorized version. That's a cool one to find for sure. War of 1812, Laura Secord in color. Roll 19 is going to give us 25 cents, but that's not from Canada and it's not from the States, and it looks to be in really nice condition. This is a 2011 Barbados in actually really nice shape with that windmill on it. We'll take it. That's a 4 in the box. Really cool. Roll 23 and we're going to get a beauty color from 2006. Check that out. Roll 24 and we're going to get another nice provincial from 1992, and we're going to flip it over. And it is the low mintage New Brunswick. This is the hardest of them all to find. There is a rotated die with this one. This is not it, I don't believe. No, it is not. As I moved it around in my hand, I flipped it in a weird way. But no, it is just the regular strike. So that's a New Brunswick, but it's low mintage. That's a semi-key date in Canadian quarters. Roll number 25 are in the halfway point, and we found a 2008. This is a Vancouver 2010 commemorative in really nice condition. I'm finding them less and less in really nice condition as time passes and they start to circulate, but this one's a good one. And here's another 1973, and we can often find these in fairly good condition. This one is less circulated than most 70s coins. This is another standard small bust. You can see that here with the naked eye. Check it out. We have found a great one here. It is that Canada flag from 2015 in great shape. And there are some variations of this one with the color on the flag being lighter or darker. This one looks like it might be the lighter version. And there are some that have some darker elements, those grays, those where it looks like the flag is ruffled, come in different shades. But this is a great one from 2015. We don't find this very often, so that's an awesome find. Well, we're already at roll number 29. It's another clear plastic roll, and a quick edge check tells me, while I don't necessarily see silver, I see a lot of American edges, which isn't terribly uncommon here in southwestern Ontario. We're not too far from the US border, but that is interesting. We'll see if there's anything new. That one here looks new, but if there's anything interesting, we might find a W. That'd be really cool. The odds are pretty small, but you never know. Little over halfway through that roll, we got 10 US so far and a bunch more to come, but we got some more color. That is a Brock War of 1812 colorized coin. Couple more coins in, and here's one I'm not sure I actually have, a Hawaii Volcanoes 2012. And it's from Denver. It's in pretty nice condition, and this is, I think, a little bit of a harder one to come by. Pretty cool. Roll number 34 is going to give us another 2004 poppy, but this time you can see very well-defined red and black color enamel. Oftentimes, as I mentioned, it's faded, but we can every once in a while find one that shows some really brilliant color. Roll 37, and we are going to find our second Peregrine Falcon with the color. Really cool. Roll number 43, and it looks like we're going to have more color. It is a 2008 color poppy, another one. That's our second 2008. Roll 45, and we have a year 2000 millennium commemorative. This one is Celebration, and there are 12 from 2000, and there are 12 from 1999, in addition to the Caribou, which weren't released for circulation, but every once in a while you might find one in a coin roll hunt. But this is the Celebration 2000. Roll number 47, and I've just got it in my hand, and I edge checked them all, and I've got one edge that looks bright and looks interesting. So we'll throw this down, and we'll see. Yeah, it's pretty shiny. We have got silver. 1962. This is going to be a laureate portrait. Look at that. It's got a pretty nice cameo finish on that. Look at that. It is it's showing some tarnishing, but it's got some really great features on it. This is incredible. This is an 80% silver 1962 quarter in the roll. Lots of detail. Cameo. Awesome find. And there's going to be more in that roll. We've got a color bison. That's really cool too. Roll 49. We're going to have a couple clad US quarters. Pretty worn in our roll of Canadian quarters, but can you see the imposter in there? Look at that. We are going to have a dime. We're going to lose 15 cents unless it's silver or something really cool. Let's take a peek. All right, well, the odds are pretty low, and it's just going to be A regular old dime, in this case, a 2016. Well, maybe next time. Roll 49, and we have another pink ribbon. This is actually the 6th we found in this box. I haven't showed all of them, but 6 in this box. We got a bunch of color on the board. We're getting close to the end, so we'll do a wrap up really quickly, but I think we're on par for what we would expect to get. Same roll, and there is a gorgeous Cindy Clausen commemorative Olympic coin. Look at that. All right, 50 rolls hunted. I'm going to organize all of these finds. We'll go through them and see what we got. Well, we meticulously and methodically went through $500 in Canadian quarters. Here's what we've got. We won't keep everything. We're going to keep the best, but this is basically a summary of what we found. We got 33 American quarters, no W's. I'll look through my collection and see if any of those upgrade. There might be a couple. We got 25 cents from Barbados. That's from 2011 in really nice condition. We got a dime. We were shorted. And I did set aside some of the nicest commemoratives here that I'll look through. Not certain if any of these will upgrade in the album. We've got some really nice examples, but they might be worth holding on to if I put some sets together. And we'll take a look at all of the color we got. We got 7 2004 color poppies. We got 6 of the breast cancer pink ribbons, a couple 2008s, 2010, a couple of the peregrine falcon, 1 bison. We got a few colorized War of 1812, and they're all different, and that really awesome Canada flag. And of course, we found at least one roll that had a lot of 80s and 70s, right from 68 actually, and 69 on. So I have them all here and added a few other nicer ones we found. I don't know if any of these will upgrade, but we'll see. I'm not going to hold on to all of these, only if any are really good. And most of these have some kind of circulation, so I think somebody was holding on to some older coins, and as we tend to do, we hold on to the nicest ones, but the longer we do it and the more we find, the nicer our nicest ones become, and then some of these aren't worth keeping anymore, but we'll have a look. And of course, our best find is this 1962. We'll get a closer look here. It's got some tarnishing on it, but it's got a nice cameo finish. It's in really nice condition, and you can really see that cameo here. Some toning, but a beautiful coin. And I don't recall off the top of my head if we needed a 62 for the album. So maybe this will fill a 62 silver slot. We'll find out. We'll take a look. All right, I've looked through our Lighthouse Vista album, our beautiful album here, and we made some progress. That 1962 was a clear upgrade from the one that was in here. That's awesome. We didn't add any new coins, but we did get 4 upgrades in total. And as we thought, we did get some great upgrades in the 80s. We upgraded that 81, and we also upgraded the 85 and the 86. Now, interestingly, these were not from the roll that had all 60s, 70s, and 80s. These were earlier in the hunt. None of those other ones would quite upgrade because we've actually got some pretty decent coins in there. But this album is looking pretty good. Only missing some of these not intended for circulation spots, coins that weren't regularly circulating. And we're going to have a really hard time finding any of those, of course, but you never know, coin roll hunting, what you're going to find. Well, I really hope that you enjoyed this video, coin roll hunting Canadian quarters, trying to fill this album here. If you did, please give the video a like. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, CAD Roll Hunter, please go ahead and do that now. I would love it if you did that. You'll find out when my new videos are coming out. I have new videos coming out all the time. You don't want to miss them. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.